Hello everyone, this is Mason Haggett, and you are currently watching the Casino Co-Official. And today, we are going to be reading Just a Story, Chapter 9, The True Lab, by yours truly, Mason Charles Haggett. Narrator: Isaac is having another nightmare. Player 1 walks into the judgment hall. Isaac is at the other end. Hey buddy, just want to let you know if you think you're going to get past this hallway, you're going to have to get through me first. Narrator: Player takes a step forward, clenching his blade. I always wondered why out of all of the things that the spectators could have done, someone with the power to reset and load their save file, like life is some sort of video game. So why do you do this? Player takes a step forward. I mean, if you're that bored that you have to find every single thing you could do to reset the story and get every ending, you must be pretty dumb. Player takes another step forward because there is so much more you could do, like playing Minecraft or literally anything else that doesn't require this story. Player takes another step forward. Well, guess that's it. Sorry, sister. This is why I hate making promises. The battle begins. It's a horrible night outside. Hail and rain has fallen on the bodies of the dead, and birds are singing a song of silence. And on days like these, kids like you should be burning in math class. Isaac wakes up from the horrible dream, breathing hard, clenching his heart. Isaac's soul is glowing bright. His right eye is glowing a bright red. He calms down a little and decides to look at his glowing heart-shaped soul. It usually glows a bright red after he has a dream or a nightmare, but this time, a quarter of his soul is glowing a bright blue. Isaac questions this and decides to ask Charlotte about this the next day. He also realizes that after his battle with Mega Tom, he has been having a lot more nightmares. He decides to go back to sleep. Isaac lazily gets out of bed bright and early because he is in the mood for adventure. He puts his red hoodie on and heads out of his bedroom. He sees Ethan Smith lying on the couch, still asleep. Yesterday, they had a lot of fun. They taught Brownie how to play football. He sees Charlotte sitting at the kitchen table. Top of the morning, Isaac. Good morning, Charlie. Say you're up earlier than usual. Why is that? No reason, just wanted to go play some basketball at the court. Oh, okay, have fun. Isaac leaves Charlotte's house and walks towards the lab. Time to check out the true lab. Isaac pulls a paper clip out of his red hoodie and walks into the museum/laboratory. Inside, he sees a bunch of ancient dinosaur skeletons, an arm that looks like it used to belong to a giant robot, and a heart locket that says it used to belong to someone named Kara, Dreamer. He looked at all the things set up in the museum, and honestly, he just had even more questions than when he first came in. Then he sees this door that says lab, and he enters it. Inside, there's a bunch of scientists doing their sciencey things. Dr. Bill. Say, who is this? I honestly don't know. Dr. H. That's probably because we never step outside of this office. Good point. Dr. Grant. So, are we going to let this guy disturb our work or what? Dr. Isabel. Maybe we should ask the boss. I agree, says Dr. Asia. Dr. Bill and Dr. Asia seem to be married and are both wearing white lab coats. Dr. Bill has blue eyes and blonde hair, and Dr. Asia has brown hair and blue eyes. Dr. Isabel has blonde hair and brown eyes. Dr. H seems to be Japanese and is wearing a white lab coat like the other three. Dr. Grant is the person from Jurassic Park, and if you've ever seen that movie. Oh, sorry to disturb you guys. Oh no, it's okay. Is there anything you need help with? Dr. Grant gets on the phone with someone he refers to as the boss. Honestly, I'm bored. Then you came to the right place. We have been people trying to create a Mecha Godzilla. We have someone who digs up dinosaurs. Even someone trying to make a cake that can last forever. So cool. And even someone trying to cure every disease. Isaac looks behind him at the figure in the black lab coat. Hey, yo, you must be the new guy that Charlotte was telling me about. The personal assistant guy that wore the red hoodie? Say, why did you come to the science lab? To see all the amazing wonders that us scientists have discovered? For some reason, he recognizes Dr. Gage, just how he recognized Ethan S. Isaac, pure boredom. Honestly, I'm not surprised. You do you want Yo, do you want to see me stuff a mini nuke into an indestructible Pepsi bottle? Mini nuke? Yeah, it's a nuke, but small, and it has the same blast as a normal one. Cool, let's see it. Dr. Gage pulls something out of his lab coat and puts it in a bottle full of water and puts the lid back on. Three, two, one. The mini nuke blows up in the indestructible Pepsi bottle. It looks like a nuke blew up instead of an indestructible clear container that is small. Yo, Isaac, do you think that? What do you think? Isaac? Isaac runs to the door that says True Lab on it. He tries to open it, but it's locked. Well, good thing I brought this paperclip. Isaac lockpicks the door and enters, leaving the door open behind him. He walks towards a long, dark hallway and opens the door to an elevator and pushes down the button. The elevator door closes and he experiences the worst elevator experience ever. He was worried the elevator was going to break down, but it didn't, thankfully. Man, why don't they get a better elevator, anyways? Isaac walks through the broken elevator door. It's almost as if he feels a strange presence watching him. He sees two huge test tubes. One has a skeleton in it that's slowly decaying. The other one says transmit complete, body regenerated. The true lab is also way bigger, filled to the brim with old books, old boxes and filing cabinets, and small glass cylinders that has and a small glass cylinder that has purple goop in it that says do not touch. Huh. I wonder what all this crap is that Charlie said she was going to show me. Guess I'll find out. Then Isaac feels a strange bony hand land on his shoulder, and a voice says to him, "Now's not the time, Royal Judge. The angel of death will tell you what this is soon." Who's there? Isaac turns around and sees no one. That's strange. Isaac goes over to the test tubes. First, there's a small iPad screen on a table that controls both of them. Isaac turns it on. There's a list of names. Perry, Charlotte, Isaac Benavides. Who's Perry, and what's under my name? Isaac looks under his name. It asks him what day. It shows the day he first arrived in the Forgotten Realm, and 4 days ago. Isaac clicks on the 4 days ago. Isaac, condition, about to die. Soul condition. Okay, being held together by a quarter of a more determined person's soul. Body condition, very bad, in need of recreation. Under that text it says, body recreated, 2 days ago. What does this mean? Oh, wait a minute. Isaac remembers the stupid lie that Charlotte told him about the helicopter, and he realizes maybe when Megatom let go of him, he fell, and something happened. He also remembered that when it slammed him against the building, he heard his ribs break, and if he is correct, they should still be broken. But they're not. Who's there? Isaac looks behind him and sees a ghost-like figure in black robes, with a black hood covering his head. He has two skeleton hands, with a hole in each one. Greetings, Royal Judge. I tried to tell you that now's not the time, but if you insist, I guess I'll show you. The puppet master comes closer to Isaac and puts his skeletal hand on Isaac's shoulder, and it gives Isaac chills down his spine. The puppet master. You see, Isaac, when Megatom slammed you into the building, you should have died, but your determination kept you alive, even though every single one of your bones was broken. When you destroyed it with emotional damage, it fell over. Therefore, you fell too. You fell to the very ground, and a part of your head exploded. You should have been dead, but you were not. Now Charlie came over, and seeing you, she was in distress. Isaac, she was scared for you, but somehow your heart was still beating, barely, and your soul was still intact, but it was about to break. So she took the quarter of your soul out that was in the worst condition and replaced it with a quarter of hers. She knew that if your soul broke, you wouldn't be the only one dead, but she did it anyways. Then she put your barely alive body in a backpack and brought you here to the true lab as quickly as possible. And she put you in the first genetic/healing container, which is the one to the right. Isaac looks in the container to the right. It's the one with the skeleton in it. The puppet master. She read the iPad as you just read now, and she realized that your soul would never be able to heal. So the quarter of her soul would be with you forever. But your body could no longer contain your soul, so she clicked the clone button and made a new body in the test tube to your left. Isaac looks at the tube to the left. It says, transmit complete, body regenerated. The regeneration was successful. It even left you in the same condition before all the injuries. Then, your soul traveled through the tube containing them in the middle. Isaac sees the small tube in the middle, connecting the two large cylinders. The puppet master. Your soul went into the new body, and Charlie took you in your new body out of the tube and put you in the backpack and brought you back and put you in your bed like nothing happened and made it something to tell you when you woke up. But you're smart, and you were able to realize that it was a lie. So I'm assuming you're the puppet master. You would be correct. So you're telling me that there's a part of Charlie's soul inside me. Yes. Whenever you dream, the other person has the same dream. Whenever one of you feels pain, the other person feels that pain. Oh, honestly, I'm just questioning my life even more than I was yesterday. So you're telling me that's my skeleton? Yes. Isaac puts his hands on his face and screams. Are you done now? Yeah. Okay, I have two more questions. Number one, who is Perry? And what is Charlotte? Second, why did you tell her to destroy my universe? You see, there are two clones of me with genetic advancements. Perry was my first child. He was kind of like a prototype, if you will. He had advanced communication skills and was able to use healing magic. He was really nice and was never able to get angry. He also used magic similar to Charlie's, but not as powerful and not as skilled. Charlotte was created second. Now, as you can tell, she is definitely not as nice as Perry, and can be rather sarcastic and mean sometimes. That's because she is created and designed that way, and is really good at math and other things. Her eyes even produce a chocolate scent when she's happy. When I created her was when I really mastered the art of imagination. Now, don't get me wrong, she can also be really nice. I mean, she saved your life after all. Isaac, why'd you even need to create Perry and Charlie if you can just guard the alternate universes yourself? You see, I can't always be here because I have business to attend in the real world. So that's why I created them. I created Perry to be a bringer of peace, when I created Charlie to be a bringer of death. But when Perry died, there was a hole that needed to be filled. Originally, I was planning on making Perry the king of the Forgotten Realm, but when he died, I had to make Charlie the queen. Honestly, when that happened, I was kind of scared because her more aggressive nature, but everything worked out perfectly. But I still needed someone to replace the hole, so I let her choose. You let her choose? Yep. And she went through the universe, and she decided to stay in the Ethan S. Boss Battle universe, where she would continue looking for a personal assistant. While she was doing that, I cooperated her into a character in that universe, and she became the ghost with an unknown past. On her adventures with the player is where she would meet you. At first, when she saw you, she didn't like you very much. You always acted like you knew something you shouldn't, and like you could see her even though she was in her invisible ghost form. It's only when the player entered the judgment hall, and she saw you judge the player for their actions throughout their journey, when she considered you. But she finally decided to choose you when the player did a massacre mode. She saw you fight with all your will, all your strength, and all your soul, knowing that you most likely weren't going to win, because the player could just load their save file. Save point. But you still fought. Now, I'm not saying you're perfect. In fact, you're like 500,000 miles away from being perfect. I'm just saying that Charlie saw these skills, and that is why she chose you to be her personal assistant. Well, if that's the case, she picked the wrong guy because I'm no bringer of peace. That is correct, but she didn't need that. She just needed a communicator, which is something she is lacking in. And if I had to say you are a fairly good communicator, would I be the correct royal judge? Oh, okay. Bad grammar, my apologies. Honestly, I don't know. Then Dr. Gage and the other scientists come out of the elevator, and the puppet master disappears. Wait, what happened to Perry? Hey, what are you doing down here? Charlotte says specifically that no one is allowed down here, even us. Oh, this place is so cool. I know, right? Guys, we just need to get Isaac out of here and then go because I don't want Charlotte to kill us, right, boss? Honestly, I agree with Bill. Let's explore this place. For science! You imbeciles! Yo, Isaac, want to help me lock and pick those suspicious filing cabinets? But Isaac was already off doing something else. Oh, come on! Isaac goes over to these strange boxes. One is labeled the Ethan S. Boss Battle, another is labeled True Underfell, another is labeled Godzilla Tales, and that's just a handful of them. They seem to be containing what Charlotte called the abandoned universes. Yo, Isaac, want to help me lock and pick the filing cabinets? Fine! Isaac and Gage go over to the strange filing cabinet. Huh, I wonder what could be in here. Isaac remembers all the information he learned from Charlotte and the Puppet Master, and just by looking at this one locked filing cabinet, he can tell that it's going to be something odd. Isaac lock and picks the lock, and they see a bunch of files. Wow, I wonder what's in here! Dr. Gage pulls out the file that says Tony on it, not even looking at the label. Isaac pulls out the one that says Isaac. Isaac reads the file. It says, Value, 9 out of 10 fan favorite. Based off of the real Isaac and Sans Undertale. Isaac, so there is a version of me in what they call the real realm. Yo, this guy Tony sounds interesting. What do you mean, the real realm? What do you mean by the real realm? Wait, you don't know that the world is just a story? Isaac can see that Dr. Isabel is puzzled by this. Oh, sorry, I meant to say, did you hear about Tony? Dr. Isabel seems even more confused. She just looks at something else. Dr. Gage. Yo, Isaac, want to go see what that weird purple thing is in that cylinder? Sure, I guess. They go look at the cylinder. Man, I'm bored. Want to punch it? Sure, I guess. Isaac punches a small cylinder off the small table, and it shatters. A small, dark, purple creature comes out of it. Yo, this thing looks so cool. Wait a minute. Isn't that creature called the Guilt that Charlotte told us about? Actually, now that I realize it, I think it is. Doc, it's growing at an uncontrollable rate. What do we do? Does it look like I know? See? We should have just left this place while we could. The thing grows until it's at the ceiling. It then seems to form a face. The Guilt. Well, well, well. The Reaper has kept me in here for long enough, it seems. Say, who is it that freed me? Isaac. Guys, quick! Grab onto my hands! All the scientists grab onto his hand, and Isaac teleports them out of the museum/lab. What just happened? Honestly, I don't know. Then the Guilt comes out of the roof of the lab and slithers outside. Did you really think you could escape me? Dr. Grant pulls out his raptor claw out of his pocket. Dr. H readies a potion to chuck at it. Dr. Gage hides behind a conveniently placed table, and Bill and Asia pull out their AK-47s, and Dr. Isabel gets ready to throw her coffee at it. Well, looks like you're ready for a fight. Then let the show begin. Bill and Asia fire at it. The bullets do nothing. Dr. Isabel throws her coffee at it. It does nothing. Dr. H throws a potion of poison at it. It does nothing. Oh, you idiots. All of them run. It manages to catch Dr. H, Dr. Grant, and Isaac. It pins them down using 3 long, stretchy limbs that stretch from its body. Finally, it's time for me to raid again, starting with all the forgotten losers and then going to different universes. Well, I'm sorry. Did you think you were going to be able to kill me that easily? Isaac teleports out from under the Guilt's limb and uses blue magic on it. He lifts it up into the air as it lets go of Dr. Grant and Dr. H. Then he drags it across the ground, leaving a trail of black-purple ink that it's made out of. Isaac throws it around like a rag doll, but then it sends one of its weird-looking tentacles at Isaac and slams him into a building. Think of something. Nah, I don't wanna. Isaac realizes he's hungry and starts thinking about blue heat talkies. Then the Guilt starts transforming. It drops Isaac on the ground as it starts muttering into something. It then stands up, mutating into something. It then stands up on 2 legs and begins turning red. It's turning into a giant talkie, isn't it? It turns into a 50-foot tall talkie with legs and 6 arms. Yeah, I was thinking of blue heat, not the regular ones. Oh, sorry, my mistake. It turns blue. There, is that better? Yeah. The now called guilty smacks Isaac into another building. Good night, sweet dreams. The giant thing wraps its tentacles around Isaac as Isaac hears a portal open. Isaac takes a sigh of relief. Thank goodness. Charlotte, in her black cloak, jumps at it with her scythe, scraping off a piece of chip. Who did that? The guilty looks around, but can't see anything. Then it feels like a fireball hit it in the back. The guilty looks around, but can't see who did it. Tony and the fat pizza guy were watching from afar. What's going on? I don't know. Rough, I'm scared. Then a portal appears under guilty as it falls through and teleports to the mountain. Well then, I suppose I should go help her soon. How am I on top of the mountain? And it's cold up here too. Yep, pretty soon, instead of blue heat, you're going to be blue freeze. Guilty stretches 4 of its tentacles backwards, trying to catch Charlotte, but Charlotte wasn't even behind him. Okay, where are you, sneaky little worm? Then 30 Master Blasters appear behind Guilty and fire at it, sending him flying down the mountain, sliding into another portal. Guilty. Okay, where am I now? It's surrounded by 50 Master Blasters. Oh, that's nothing. It fires talkie dust at the blasters and they blow up. Then 500 appear around it. Oh, crap. Guilty blows up, turning back into the Guilt. The Guilt. Say, how are you doing, Charlotte? Charlotte sits in front of the Guilt with her legs crossed, and numbers begin appearing over her eyes as she begins to summon a highly deadly attack. The Guilt sees this and turns into whatever the last thing Charlotte thought of was. Then it turns into Isaac and summons a raptor blaster and fires it at Charlotte, burning her and making her fall unconscious. This power is something I haven't felt in a long time. Long time. Then a bunch of bones appear under Guilty. He teleports out of the way. Hey, there can only be one Isaac. Why not two? Because then the world would be too cool. They summon a bone in each of their hands as the final battle commences. They charge at each other, sword fighting with the bones and teleport out of the way of each other's attacks. Then Guilty decides to break the sword fight by firing bones at Isaac. Isaac teleports out of the way and summons a bed of bones underneath Guilty. Guilty teleports out of the way. Isaac's right eye begins to glow a bright red as he fires some blue bones at Guilty. Guilty teleports out of the way, but they follow him like heat-seeking missiles, so he fires some bones at them and they get destroyed. Guilty summons a bed of bones under Isaac. As Isaac does the same, they both teleport out of the way. Well, looks like we both decided to use the same attack at the same time, eh? Yep. They sword fight with the bones again. Isaac breaks this by using the blue magic on Guilty, by lifting him into the air, but he teleports out of his grasp. Crap! Guilty summons a raptor blaster behind Isaac. Isaac realizes this and summons a raptor blaster to counter it. The two beams collide. Isaac teleports far away from the two blasters, well aware of what's going to happen. Then they explode, sending Guilty flying, turning him back into the Guilt. Whew! The Guilt. I've got you now! The Guilt pounds Isaac to the floor with one of its tentacles. I'm going to have a great time doing this. Then numbers and glitches begin to swarm the Guilt. No, it can't be. The Guilt disintegrates into nothingness. Isaac sees Charlotte standing where the Guilt used to be. She looks like she can barely stand on her legs. Hey, Charlie, you alright? I think so. She almost falls over but catches herself. She is weak. How did you know to come help me earlier when you did? Just curious. I could feel your pain because remember, our souls are connected. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Nervous left her. She almost falls over again, but Isaac catches her arm and helps her back on her feet before she could. Oh yeah, the puppet master told me about it today when I was visiting the lab. Oh, that's just great. She almost falls over again, but Isaac grabs her arms. You know what? I think it's time for you to go home. Isaac teleports to the house upstairs and pulls the book on the bookcase. Oh, I didn't know you knew about that. Brownie showed me. Oh, that Brownie. Brownie comes running up the stairs. Hey, Brownie, I'm kind of busy right now. I'll talk to you later, alright? Isaac helps Charlotte up the stairs to her bedroom. Okay, do you need anything else, Charlie? No, I'm good. Okay. Charlotte goes over to the bed slowly and shuts the door. Well, time to go lay on the couch downstairs and lay on the couch and take a nap, probably. Isaac does just that. He goes and looks at the fireplace and wonders about his life. Like, why did the puppet master create him? And why is Charlotte so nice to them? Brownie jumps on Isaac's lap. Oh, hi, Brownie. Isaac sits on the couch as Brownie jumps on his lap, and while he is petting Brownie, he slowly falls asleep. All rights reserved to Casino Co.